Seattle Mariners.
Dan got off to a fantastic start last night. The Mariners winning in Game 1 against the Angels. Tonight, it's the middle game of 3. The Mariners and the Angels, and the Mariners a chance for a series win. It was great to see the ball get over the fence. 3 home runs last night by the Mariners. Cole Young, man, was it loud when he was in the box. A home run to begin his night out to center field, and little did we know, an even more impressive home run was on tap for Cole Young.
Yeah, he was going for number 2 right here with this ball. First pitch of the at-bat, it was smashed, just missed the hit at Cafe. Windows up there in right field, 400+ feet. Grabs a trident a second time. First time hitting 2 home runs in the game.
Yeah, special stuff last night for Cole Young and for the Mariners. Welcome inside T-Mobile Park. Aaron Goldsmith alongside Ryan Rollins-Smith and Hyphen after a difficult road trip. Man, it was great to see the Mariners get off to a hot start last night. Plenty of offense and some great starting pitching, too.
Yeah, it was a heartbreaking game to finish that road trip. It's been a battle trying to get that momentum, but what a great way to start this homestand.
You know, when Cole Young homers, it is pretty impressive. And when you look at what he did last night, his first career multi-homer game, well, something kind of stands out, right? Everything in his young career has gone over the wall in right field until the first of 2 home runs last night. His first career home run out to center field. Really, really impressive stuff. A 3-hit night in total for Cole Young.
Yeah, you can see the pull side power. Young, he's still a young player, obviously second year in the big leagues. But one thing that when he was coming out of the month of May, he was starting to struggle a little bit. And one of the cues was, hey, look, I just backspin everything to right center field. We see all that ball get out. The first home run last night, able to shift over a little bit more to the bigger part of the field.
Oh, we know this. Good things happen when the Mariners hit home runs. They had 3 last night, but also putting the ball in play and getting a little bit of a broken bat luck out of things, too. Cal Raleigh, hey, how about some 2-out run production? Not your typical Cal Raleigh ribbies, but they sure counted in 2 big ones last night.
Yeah, well, Cal Raleigh talked about this Sunday afternoon post-game. He talked about staying in the fight the whole game. And look, as this game was going on, all of a sudden you felt like, okay, are they going to sit behind? But this was a huge swing of the bat. Look, little broken bat hit into left field, but Cal Raleigh trying to find his timing and his groove. He'll take that all night long.
Yeah, that was good to see. Mariners winning Game 1. And when you think about what George Kirby did going 8 innings, really good 8 innings last night against the Angels. Angels this month, they're averaging 5 runs a game. They've got some guys who can hit it over the fence. The Mariners saw that firsthand last night, but Kirby was excellent.
He was really good. One thing we talked about early in the game was getting a little deeper, avoiding the big inning, but the third time through has been a bit of a challenge for him this season. The breaking ball was elite. And you mentioned, too, look, the Angels have got some guys in this lineup, especially the month of June, that can hurt you. Zach Neto, look, he had a home run last night, but there's a couple threats in that lineup. But George Kirby going 8 strong, that was good to see, and a great way to start this homestand.
Yeah, tough act to follow for Brian Wu, who gets the ball tonight. Mariners off to a very strong start to begin this 3-game series. Well, you saw that home run from Cole Young last night that hit off the facade, and well, he did it again today during batting practice. This Mariners fan gets the carom, and man, that is a good souvenir to take home. Sitting in the right place at the right time. Brian Wu is on the mound. He has been truly historic at home this year. We're talking all things Brian Wu. Good pitching matchup when we come back. Mariners TV is brought to you by Emerald Queen Casino. SNL alum and hilarious stand-up comedian Pete Davidson comes to Emerald Queen Casino August 28th. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. By the Washington Traffic Safety Commission, seatbelts save lives. Remember to always buckle up when you drive. And by PIMCO, the insurance you get. Learn more at PIMCO.com. Cloudy day around town. Mariners continuing their homestand against the Angels. Brian Wu, his last time on the mound here at T-Mobile Park, it was against the Orioles, Hyphen, and he was remarkable. 7 shutout innings. He's been amazing at home this year.
He really has. You look at the numbers, obviously 2 ERA compared to a 6.38. Tells the story, the home and away. But this was a bounce back outing against the Orioles. He faced them for the 2nd time consecutively, and he was so good. One thing to look for today is the usage of that sweeper. We saw George Kirby last night really dial in that those big breaking balls. So look for that to be a big weapon for him tonight.
Well, you saw the ERA at home this year, a flat 2, and the average of the on-base, the slugging against Wu, it's all been among the very best of any starting pitcher in their home ballpark this year. Jose Soriano, it's been a tale of two halves so far this year. He got off to a historic start to the year. His first 6 starts, a .24 ERA. It's been a very different story. His last 11 times out on the mound, an ERA north of 5. He's a very good ground ball pitcher. But what has been the reason for these two stark contrasts to his season? For more on that, we go down to the Ford Sports Desk. We say good evening. Angie, how you doing?
Aaron, thanks so much. You pointed out his .24 ERA through his first 6 games. That was the lowest mark through 6 games since they started keeping that stat of ERA back in 1913. Command has been a huge issue for him. He has allowed 48 walks. That leads the majors, but he's also got swing and miss stuff. He notched his 100th strikeout of the season in his last start, but you look at these home runs, that 4-seam fastball is flat, and it has been crushed lately. He's got a knuckle curve and a split. Those 2 pitches are predominantly out of the zone. So if you're the Mariners, you don't want to hunt secondaries that aren't in the zone. Hunt the sinker, adjust to that 4-seamer that is so flat, and get after Soriano tonight. Straight ahead, we've got Wu's first pitch. He's been so good here at home where he hasn't allowed an earned run in his last 4 starts. We're back right after this.
Mariners TV is brought to you by your local Ford dealer, home of the F-150, America's best-selling truck for 49 years. By Washington Trust Bank, privately owned and locally invested since 1902. And by Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. Make a play for your health with the Mariners' trusted sports medicine provider. Here's what it looks like tonight for manager Kurt Suzuki and the Angels. Pop at the top. Zach Neto, a home run last night, his 18th of the season. Meanwhile, Nolan Shonowell, number 3, hitting first baseman, always an on-base threat. Tough guy to strike out as well. You have to be careful of some power in this lineup. Soler and Adele also. And Donovan Walton, the former Mariner, now these days with the Angels. He's batting 9th and at second base. Bryan Woo on the mound tonight for the Mariners in Game 2. He had a front row seat to George Kirby in those masterful 8 innings that he spun last night. Woo takes a big deep breath. We are all set to go. And Game 2 is underway with the fastball missing down and in for ball 1.
Man, you look at the numbers, ERA north of 4, and a lot of that has to do with what he's done away from T-Mobile Park. Just not the same Bryan Woo has been on the road this year as opposed to being here at T-Mobile.
Well, the differential between his home ERA and his road ERA would be one of the largest separations between home and road in the last 20 years. He has simply been at times untouchable here when pitching at T-Mobile Park. 1 ball and 1 strike to Neto. He goes around. Sinker down and in. It's 1-2.
Yeah, I'm watching Bryan Woo on the road. You know, to me, there's just times where he just has these spurts where he just doesn't look dialed in, doesn't look comfortable for whatever reason. Here at T-Mobile, not the case. You see him, spray a couple pitches, then get right back to that quality of pitch.
Well, he watched Kirby last night. Is there anything he can take from watching what George did that he can apply to his start tonight?
Well, regardless of George pitching last night, first of all, George, we talked so much about relying so heavily on that breaking ball right out the gates. First at bat against Zach Neto, and we're seeing more of that here for Bryan Woo. So when you get that front row seat, you can kind of see some tendencies, some patterns, that's for sure. But regardless of who pitched last night, I think for Bryan Woo, man, the breaking balls are so elite. We talk so much about the fastballs, but look, you take a look at the fastballs. Yes, he is 4-seam heavy. He throws the sinker to go along with the 4-seam. But the sweeper and slider, when that pitch is on, man, it just creates such a separation. We showed that outing against the Orioles. And a big reason why he's able to have that bounce back and have that success here is because of those breaking balls.
Fastball misses up to Neto. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Have to be careful with his power. 18 home runs this year for Neto. This is an Angels team that is just outside the top 10 in home runs this season. 2-2. Does not chase upstairs again. It's a full count. So a bit of a lengthy at bat for Zach Neto to begin things. A guy who strikes out a lot, nearly a third of the time. He puts it in play over to Colt Emerson. Mariners young shortstop throws low. That was handled well by Naylor. And there is out number 1. Well, you look at what Wu has done at home this year. That ERA of a flat 2 is in the top 10 in baseball. But how about the slash line? The average on base and slugging hyphen, no worse than second best among all starting pitchers in their home ballpark this year. They are batting 154 against them. I say, if you look at the slash line, you wonder how's the ERA at 2, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, dealing here. He has had some epic outings where it's just been straight domination, barely breaking a sweat, getting deep into games with 0 damage whatsoever. I went back and took a look and see, you know, there's a little bit of different of the usage. I watched some of the games as well. You know, one thing that stands out, again, slider, sweeper, those 2 pitches we don't talk a whole lot about with Brian Wu because of that elite fastball. But lately, with the domination at the home and the struggles on the road, the difference has been how many breaking balls he's thrown at home. He's thrown around north of 35%. And here and on the road has been around 20%. I think a lot of that just has to do with, like I said earlier, just that comfort level for whatever reason.
Von Grisham is the batter. 1 out and an 0-2 count his way.
I mean, even that last outing he had on the road, he took him a little bit to get settled in, and then he had that big 5-run inning, and it just unraveled quick. And it's those moments, right, where you get that batch of pitches where you just can't quite find the strike zone. 2-1 counts, middle of the plate. That's where guys go hunting that fastball.
I wonder too, at a certain point, whether it be how well he has pitched at home or the struggles he's had at the road, at a certain point, is it just kind of, it becomes that thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it just is because it is.
Yeah, because you're like, hang on a minute, because he's well aware of it, man. I mean, I get it. These guys don't, you know, they pay different attention to what they're doing.
Fastball strikes out Grisham. First strikeout for Wu early on tonight.
But see that pitch right there. There was times early in the game, last time out, you get to 2 strikes, it's just kind of leaked middle of the plate. This getting elevated enough, and again, if you can show that sweeper and slider enough, you're going to get that swing, that barrel underneath the ball. But absolutely, he's well aware of the fact that, man, and he doesn't even have to look at the numbers. He just knows because you're out there and you're like, I feel really dialed in at home. Everything feels on time. Everything feels in sync, and then you just have those little memories that come back to you with you being on the road. They can become a thing for sure.
2 outs, nobody out for Shonowell. He rolls over this foul. Wu has voiced some frustration, some very clear frustration after certain games on the road this year, and talking about how he's been searching for answers, and yet you look at what he's done at home and he has the answers. It has been a kind of bizarre first half in that regard for Brian Wu, an all-star last year.
And you know what the pattern is too. We talked about the 5-run inning, even going back to that Detroit start. It's one of these moments that it just catches you where it's like, oh, here we go again. You know what I mean? Like you give up a couple hits, and then you feel it's that thing like, don't miss a pitch right here, and then what do you do next thing? Miss that pitch.
Hit hard up the middle. Young can't get there. Shonowell is aboard. 2-out base hit.
Yeah, he talked about that contact. Tough guys punch out. This is a pitch that missed. Still outside the strike zone, but Cole just couldn't quite get a glove to that. Skipping through the infield.
Two-out base runner. That brings up Jorge Soler. And there are certain guys in this lineup that there's no doubt when they had their pitcher meeting today with Wu and with Cal and pitching coach Pete Woodworth, you say, well, this is a guy you can hunt a strikeout with, and Soler is one of them, striking out over 30% of the time. In fact, the Angels overall have the highest combined strikeout rate of any team in baseball this season. 0-2 now. Well located slider. Soler obviously has enormous power. 11 home runs this year. He has spent some time on the injured list. 2 out, Shonowell at first. And he struck him out. He threw that pitch in another time zone to Soler, and Wu gets the strikeout. A couple of punch outs in a scoreless first. A little bit of a different looking lineup tonight for manager Dan Wilson. Right-handed Jose Soriano is on the mound. With that in mind, J.P. Crawford leads things off. Naylor batting second. Randy cleaning up. Cal up to the number 5 spot. Young and then Emerson. So you've got Robles and Weston Wilson batting 8 and 9. Canzone and Raley are both out of the lineup. They've avoided IL stints, but they're being very careful with them, both dealing with some nagging injuries. Jose Soriano is on the mound, making his 18th start. Overall numbers very good. Of course, most of that buoyed by a historic start to this season. He's been okay to kind of average in his last 10+ starts or so.
Yeah, the command can go away from him. A lot of walks, but a ton of swing and miss. Kind of balance it out. But it's been an interesting last 10 or so outings for Jose Soriano. It's always going to be about that command. You see him right here against J.P. Crawford, already 2-0.
Three balls and no strikes. Soriano, an opening day starter this year for the Angels. Gave up 1 run in his first 6 starts combined. Fires that over the plate. Really, you look at Soriano and Wu, and they are remarkably different in 2 distinct ways. One, first pitch strikes. Wu, the best. Soriano, one of the absolute worst this year in baseball, and then also the walks. With one comes the other, right? 3-1. This is hit hard, and Shonowell looked like a clean catch, and it is. He picks that right off the dirt, and JP hit that 107 off the bat, but gets a hit taken away by Shonowell at first.
Yeah, this ball was hit hard. You see the count 3-1, and JP. We've seen this, since he came off the IL. Getting that good A swing, that hitter's count swing off. Shonowell making a nice play. Loving that ball. But yeah, you're right. And I think with Soriano, it's that sinker's it's a huge weapon. There it is right there.
Well, this time a base hit gets worked out of it. Julio. Well, so 2 balls in play, and both have been smoked. Now they've both essentially been on the ground with some loud contact against Soriano right away. Julio a base hit.
Yeah, and you'll take this too. I mean, this is the guy, Jose Soriano, who we've talked about dealing with some of the command issues. And Angie talked about this in the open too. He'll go to that 4-seam if he needs to find the strike zone. In other words, that sinker, when he cannot find that pitch, that ball just starts sinking like crazy because it's this huge weapon and you can't command that pitch. Man, all of a sudden everything starts to flatten out. You can jump on him.
96 misses just down and away. Ball 1 to Naylor.
And he's even tried messing with that arm angle a little bit to stay on top of the ball, to get more downward instead of that pitch going down and away. Gets a ton of run and just leaves the strike zone at times.
Is it moving too much?
Yeah, and see that's part of the problem, right? Where, man, you have this big weapon, and on paper or on a TrackMan, like you look at that iPad and go, man, this is an elite sinker. We know that. Everything to go with it. You can land that pitch at the bottom of the strike zone. The problem is though, when all of a sudden it starts running out of the zone, and you're going 2-0 every single time, create problems.
One ball and 1 strike to Josh Naylor with Julio aboard. Good take. Very close take. Now Soriano, the 3rd highest ground ball rate of any starting pitcher in baseball this year. Josh has laid off some very borderline pitches in this at bat, and he's ahead 3-1. He calls for time. Randy on deck, Julio at first. Naylor in the box. He's ready to go. Some early traffic against Jose Soriano. That's a strike at the bottom of the zone. Randy could have called that.
Challenging the call of strike.
ABS powered by T-Mobile.
The pitch is a strike. The count is 3-2. Seattle has one challenge remaining.
I'm kind of surprised he got that. He was kind of late. Yeah, he's taking his shin guard off. Sinking fastball, drop of the. Look at this.
Boy, I'm very surprised.
Yeah.
I did not realize in real time it was that late. You're right. Would have been better if it was declined. There's ball 4. He does not go around, so there is a walk right on cue. Soriano has more walks than any pitcher in baseball this year. We're talking about the tale of 2 first halves for Soriano. His first 6 starts, he allowed 1 run in 37 innings, a .24 ERA. He was striking out over 30% of the batters he faced. His last 11, the ERA has, soared is an understatement, but then again, he couldn't pitch to an 0.24 forever, could he? Strikeout rate has gone down. Ground ball rate's kind of normalized, still very good. Knee buckling curve for a strike.
Yeah, but a drastic change too. It's not a situation where all of a sudden he gives up, a couple 3 spots here and there. No, it's a drastic change in that you show that last 11. And just back to that sinker too, and the point I'm trying to make, it's kind of like a Matt Brash breaking ball where you have to throw that pitch at a really high percentage of time, which he does, right? And Matt has gained the skill to be able to land that pitch in the strike zone. It's kind of very similar because the ball's got so much movement. He'll mix that curveball in, trying to get a plan B right here if that sinker's just running out of the strike zone.
Randy behind 1 and 2. 3 home runs last night for the Mariners, 6 runs in total for the M's. .97-mile-an-hour sinker in on the hand. Still 1 and 2. Mariners threatening early right away.
Man, Randy, good at bat. And you get that sinker that ran in underneath your hands, and you got a 4-seam upper 90s velocity that kind of straightens out. He's still able to get the bat head to that pitch. Fouled off, stay in the count.
1-2. Well, if you are a right-handed hitter facing Soriano, get ready to be uncomfortable. Goes the other way this time. Curveball gets the strikeout to Arozarena, 2 outs.
Again, we talked about all that swing and miss to go along with the command issues in this pitch. Again, absolutely nuts. You get to a situation if you're Soriano with 2 strikes. And that's a tough at bat right there. You got that sinker going in underneath the hands, trying to crowd him. Randy wants to probably shoot that ball to right center field. Get that chase.
Here's Cal, 2 outs and 2 on. Now, lefties have had far better success against Soriano this year. 10 of the 12 home runs he's allowed have come to lefty batters.
He gave up a couple to Basayo back in that last start against the Orioles.
On a 1-1. Well, if pitching in is a lost art, Jose Soriano would like to talk. 2-1. Julio at second, Naylor at first. A hanging split finger caught a lot of the plate. Man, a 94-mile-an-hour splitter. Is that real?
Pretty standard. Yeah, plus stuff. That is for sure. It's just about getting in those counts.
Well, the splitter that time gets the swing and a miss, and the Mariners strand a pair. After an inning, Mariners and the Angels scoreless. Bryan Woo on the mound tonight for the Mariners.
No other.
Welcome back. Bryan Woo struck out Jorge Soler to end the first inning. Look at how much he misses this pitch by. I mean, there's near misses, and then, I'm sorry, but you are nowhere close. He probably misses this pitch by half a foot. It's below his bat and probably 2 feet off in regards to timing, guys. That sweeper was absolutely filthy. And there's a new swing timing and miss distance leaderboard on Baseball Savant, and Soler might be towards the top after that one.
Yeah, he got fooled on that one. That was a very nasty breaking ball from Woo. This is a Angels team we talked about that swings and misses a lot, especially on breaking pitches. Highest whiff rate on breaking pitches of any team in the majors. Wade Meckler leads things off.
Yeah, George Kirby threw a boatload of them last night, and for Bryan Woo, talked about having more success, not just with the Angels, but other teams. You can just land that pitch just a little bit more. That sweeper, I mean, 45% swing and miss against for Bryan Woo.
Now Meckler shoots that fastball into left field. That's where Robles plays tonight. Leadoff man is aboard for the Angels. Tonight's Blue Moon bright spot as we look at Woo and his current run here at home. His last 4 starts at T-Mobile Park, 26 scoreless, 35 strikeouts to only 5 walks. Amazing stuff.
Yeah. Dominant, just trying to take some of that energy out with him to get out on the road.
Joe Adell with the man aboard and nobody out. Runs that fastball in on him. 2-0. Another big miss on a breaking ball. How many feet away was this?
Yeah, this is filthy. Classified as that slider. Kind of similar, different a little bit in velocity, but it's by a mile right there.
Guys, I'm muting my mic so you don't hear me snorting.
There's a chopper off the plate. Woo looks at second. Only throw is to first. So Meckler is into scoring position. If you're on the mound and you see that, what does that make you do as you're facing a guy like that and you see that big of a miss?
You're talking about the next pitch?
Yes. When you see a guy swinging a breaking ball and he's 3 feet away from it, what's your next move?
First of all, if it's this early in the game, we're talking 20 or so pitches in, and you're just trying to get a feel for the breaking ball. You're trying to get that glove side sinker into these lefties and away from righties. You're trying to get those little cues to say, okay, this is working, this is not. So is Cal Raleigh, by the way. Then you throw a pitch and you're able to get that kind of reaction 60 feet away. First of all, your confidence goes up because you're like, all right, I can get a little crazy with these pitches. Knowing I'm going to get some reaction out of it.
Julio was right there, 2 outs.
But number 2, it kind of goes both ways. You can see Adell, they're trying to tack him in as well, trying to get that sinker in. So if that's a situation, it just opens up the strike zone. So you can go, all right, now I can go in, I can sink it in a little bit, and knowing I can go back there, it doesn't have to be that nasty. I'm still going to get that kind of reaction. He was able to get just a piece of that pitch and hit it back to Bryan Woo. On the flip side, though, Goldie, there's been plenty of times where you throw your best bullet, you don't even get a sniff, and then you don't get it a second and third time. Like, oh man, it's going to be a long night.
Time. Cal, come here.
Yeah.
We need to scrap everything. Logan O'Hoppe is at the plate. Sounds like you're over it, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Man.
2 outs and Meckler in scoring position. Nothing in 2. He put him away on a disappearing slider. Woo's 3rd strikeout. T-Mobile Park. Well, the first season, the summer of 1999, and since then, only 2 pitchers have ever spun more scoreless consecutive innings in this ballpark than Bryan Woo. He is marching towards history tonight.
T-Mobile.
Cole Young leads it off for the Mariners. And it's called a strike. Three hits last night. Young now batting .260, a couple of homers. First career multi-homer game last night for Cole Young. His first full major league season. Got called up last May. This is chopping foul. Cole's first home run of his career that was not pulled to right field. Homered out to center last night. I don't know how many home runs will be Cole's high watermark in a single season. I think 20 is certainly on the horizon at some point for Cole, but he does have a little bit of sneaky pop to him.
For sure. I mean, you mentioned the right center home run he hit last night. Was it center field?
That's 3 straight strikeouts for Soriano dating back to the first, and the last couple have been on that splitter. Well, the next Mariners fireworks night's coming up this Friday. You can kick off your Independence Day celebrations with a special post-game patriotic fireworks show presented by T-Mobile and 98.9 The Bull. Mariners.com/fireworks to get your tickets. Colt Emerson. Vlad Jr. was taken out of the Blue Jays lineup today prior to first pitch. He was dealing with some back issues. We'll see how his back's feeling when he and the Blue Jays get to town.
Yeah, what a strange year for him. Just no pop at all. And he's hitting around 270, but just, I mean, that whole team, the Blue Jays, we're going to see them next this weekend, July 4th series, but just, man, doing that, having that World Series run, we know very well last year, and just doing a whole lot this year. The pitching all of a sudden starting to implode a little bit in the month of June. The offense just no slug.
Yeah, last look, Vlad had 4 homers.
On pace for 8. I mean, it's just bizarre, right? Just like watching him hit.
Two and two. One out, nobody on in the bottom of the second. This is into center field, and a base hit for Colt Emerson. He gets a piece of that splitter and finds a knock into center. 1 out and 1 on.
Yeah, good piece of hitting right there. 2 strikes. He has to recognize what this pitch is. He saw the split to Cal Raleigh in that first inning. It kind of flattens out, but just staying on this pitch, using the big part of the field. A bit of extra swing and miss in Colt's game of late. So that was good to see with 2 strikes.
Here's Victor Robles. Victor waiting back on that curveball, fouls it away. 0-1. Well, the Mariners with a couple of lefties on the bench tonight that we would normally see. Dom Canzone, who homered last night, also Luke Raley. Both are day-to-day, and the Mariners are hoping that keeping those two out of the lineup tonight, coupled with the odd scheduled off day tomorrow before the series concludes the following day because of World Cup action across the street. Mariners are hopeful that the 2 off days tonight and tomorrow will help get Raley and Canzone right and get them back in the lineup.
Canzone been red hot, one of the best hitters in the month of June.
And runs that sinker in on him. That's the 4th strikeout for Soriano. 2 outs. So Robles is in left and Weston Wilson is in right field. Number 9 hitter for the Mariners tonight. 2 outs and Emerson at first base.
I'll tell you what, if Soriano can land that breaking ball like we've been seeing, he can be a handful tonight for these Mariners.
Down to second. Emerson is safe. Oh, he got back. Walton is looking over towards his manager saying, hey, you might want to take a look at that. Of course they will.
Getting them to look at it, obviously coming off the base, trying to keep that tag on. See him just kind of bounce off, a little delayed steal. Looked like the throw potentially could have beat him, but we'll see if. All right, so he gets that hand and then scoots back to the base. They're not going to look at her.
Second bag for Colt Emerson.
Now that's the other thing with Soriano too. We talked about him getting in a rhythm and going back and watching some of his last starts. Opponents will be aggressive on the bases. I was kind of surprised when Julio and Naylor were on the base that first inning, potentially getting a chance to take off, get him out of that rhythm a little bit with that commanded.
That's only the 4th stolen base against Soriano this year. Two and two. Wilson, 31 years old, former 17th round draft pick by Milwaukee out of Clemson. Appeared in just under 20 games this year with Baltimore. He swings and misses at that curveball. The swing and miss stuff working tonight for Soriano. 5 strikeouts through 2 scoreless. Across the street at Victory Hall, we got Mexico fans cheering on the World Cup. Mariners and the Angels, middle game of 3 tonight. Scoreless going to the 3rd. You are looking at the major league leader in first pitch strike rate this year. 70% of the time, Wu starts off with strike 1. He has been pretty remarkable at that this year. In fact, his overall rate this season, if the year were to end right now, it would finish top 20 all time. A stat that they first started tracking back in 2002. Donovan Walton, former Mariners, sends this into the corner, and Robles is there. And pretty interesting to look at that list, and it's Brian Wu and Logan Gilbert, 1-2 on the list, and it is obviously something the Mariners stress, and so you got 2 guys in the top 5.
And I believe Emerson Hancock's not that far below that list as well, but I think with Brian Wu, and look, it's pretty helpful when you're 0-1 on pretty much 70% the guys you're facing. It gives you the leg up for sure. But the league, and we talked about this going back to that start against the St. Louis Cardinals, for example, where teams are going to be just that little bit more aggressive. It's like that from Zach Neto. The league starts to adjust a little bit, so it's not always going to stay the same, I think. And with Brian Wu, look, you can use that to your advantage. However, if the pitch quality has a little bit of slip to it, where all of a sudden you end up middle of the plate, which we've been seeing a little bit more from him in 2026 than 2025. He was just on another level last year when we were talking about the pitch quality. You end up in the middle of the plate, you're going to see a little bit more of that damage.
This is skied towards the crowd in left field and just out of room. Robles making friends. Maybe find something to eat out there. Oh, making friends for sure.
Is it small?
Hey, that was Victor Robles. 0-2 on Neto.
He's going to take a bite out of that kid's meal in the front row.
Broken bat in on the hands.
All right, change it. That's a pitch that George Kirby punched out Zach Neto, third time through.
You know, another guy who's had a pretty historic stuff with first pitch strikes is Gabe Spire. That's what the back of his head looks like. There we go. There's Gabe.
There he is.
I remember talking to Gabe about this a couple years ago, and I said, do you ever feel like guys are going up there just hunting first pitch because they know the scouting report on you? And he said that he felt like because they know he's going to throw first pitch strikes so often, he can use those opportunities, he feels, to get them to swing at a pitch that's not actually a strike.
Yeah.
A little cat and mouse game.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. And the other part of this is, too, not just the first pitch strikes. Look, getting ahead, that's one thing. You know, it goes without saying. But also, too, you look at 2026 compared to even 2025, and especially going back a couple years past, when you're looking at a Logan Gilbert or a Brian Wu or even, a Gabe Spire, the swing rate in the first 3 pitches of an at-bat, it is such an advantage. You talked about that breaking ball to Joe Adell. That's how you get those pitches. Guys are going to be naturally a little bit more aggressive. You have that efficient pitch count. However, I think with Brian Wood, there's just been those times where the misses have ended up middle of the plate as opposed to off the plate. I think with Gabe Spire, you talk about some of the misses for him. He's got that pitch, that four-seam and two-seam that runs up and in to lefties. He's facing a ton of lefties and off the plate, so he can kind of have that, work that to your advantage a little bit.
Lined and foul. Spire actually set the all-time single season first pitch strike record for a reliever back in 2023. 78% of the time he threw a first pitch strike.
A big breakout year. That was fun to watch. He kind of came out of nowhere when you think about it, right?
No doubt. Absolutely.
And it's like, hey, get the strikes in. Oh, that's all I got to do. Okay, throw strikes.
Off the plate, 1 ball and 2 strikes. You might have noticed a familiar face from earlier in the year. There's Cole Wilcox, who was just recalled today. He has joined the Mariners bullpen. Big fastball, trying to throw strikes at a little bit of a higher rate. Speaking of that, 2-2. We saw Cole very early on this year, then spent some time down in Tacoma. Josh Simpson was optioned back to AAA. Neto's had a couple of long at-bats against Brian Wu tonight.
We've seen a couple change-ups in this pitch sequence. Like I said, George Kirby punched him out that third at-bat after Neto hit that double, then a home run. It's breaking ball heavy, went change-up. Wu's trying the same recipe right here.
This will be pitch number 9 to Zach Neto. And he put him away with the sweeper.
And that's big. And look, we talked about the strike throwing ability and the pitch quality inside the strikes. And you've got a situation where you got a Zach Neto, he's a power threat, plus he's at the top of the lineup, and you kind of get worn out. And there's those little times where you think, okay, I'm just going to give in, pitch to contact, but staying on top of that breaking ball right there and execute. Good to see.
Sinker running down and in. Strike 1 to Vaughn Grissom. Strange at all to see somebody else wearing number 5 for the Angels, by the way.
Yeah, a little bit, for sure.
Worn for many years by Albert Pujols.
Yeah.
10 years overall for Pujols as an Angel.
That was, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, probably more so for you. You're a big Cardinals fan, but it was strange to see him in an Angels uniform. When that press conference and then he signed that deal. But then you slowly got used to it.
I could barely walk straight.
He was struggling. You lost sleep over it.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Doesn't bite on that breaking ball. 1-2. I still need some help walking through that. It's helpful for me to talk it out, so thank you.
Okay, we'll stick around after the game and talk it through.
Wu nodding, takes a big deep breath on a 1-2. Bust him up and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Wu wants a new baseball.
Yeah, Albert Pujols, him and C.J. Wilson signed those deals, and then talked about Perry Manassian last night. He kind of took on some of that dead money from Pujols. He was gone at the end of that long deal.
Two. Just got a piece.
And some of these long at bats too. Again, just going back to that execution, that you get some foul balls, you get a little bit of swing and miss, but you still miss in the middle of the plate right now if you're Brian Wu. And again, still trying to just get settled in, still the 3rd inning.
He got it. 5th strikeout tonight for Brian Wu, and you can add another inning to the tally. 29 consecutive scoreless innings for Brian Wu, one shy of a T-Mobile Park Mariners record.
Batting down the...
Tonight's KeyBank stats. Looking at the Mariners' success when hitting home runs. When they don't homer at all this year, they're 6-22. It's nearly the worst winning percentage in baseball. When they hit 1 home run in a game, about 500. And when they homer multiple times in a game, 2 or more, hyphen, they're 23-6. The 6th best winning percentage. Of course, they won last night. They homered 3 times.
Yeah, man, look at that. I mean, again, coming into 2026. It was more about being that complete offense. They lived off of that home run in 2025. Again, the same pattern. Needing that long ball, needing that guy right there to start finding that consistency as well. Cal Raleigh.
Now, I would say the obvious, which is probably most teams do better when they hit multiple home runs in a game. The Mariners are not alone here. But as you can see, the Mariners do rely on it more than most. Soriano facing the lineup 2nd time through. Two and 2 on JP.
We'll see how Soriano attacks his 2nd time through the lineup, that 2nd look for the Mariners. But we talked about if he can land that curveball, man, he can create a real problem for these Mariners. 45 pitches in here in the 3rd inning.
Julio due up next. Good take down and in at 98 that time. Full count.
And you talked about the confidence too, right, with Brian Wu when you got that big swing and miss, Joe Adell with that breaking ball. Well, with Soriano, when you're dealing with command issues and you get 3-2, leadoff hitter of an inning, guy you can attack, and you go breaking ball, that tells you feel pretty good about that pitch. It's a really good at bat though. You see all those breaking balls in amongst this sequence, and you foul off 98.
Next pitch coming to JP Crawford. That's a 2 into a pitch count. Pitch number 10 on the way. JP feeling that one.
I see where this ball hits him. You can see JP wanting to get right back in the box. With the right toe. Oh, off the shin guard.
A hard-earned strikeout, 11 pitches that Crawford chews up from Soriano. The insurance you get brought to you by Pimco Insurance as Julio climbs in. 9 hits lifetime for Julio against Soriano, including one today, the most of any player in the game. And if you look at his 8 career hits off of Soriano coming into tonight, couple of home runs. This is a check swing. Shonowell gets there and flips to Soriano covering the bag, and that's not what Julio wanted. That will not make the fancy graphic next time we put it up.
Yeah, can we show that graphic again? No. Again, you have that long at bat against JP Crawford. You're facing this team second time through. You got that good rhythm. We talked about that breaking ball, and then Julio, you get that a guy who you've struggled against. Well, guys, quite a few hits against you. Get that first pitch, check swing. You'll take it all day long.
Yeah, that kind of gets Soriano back on track this inning. Ground ball, Neto. So 11 pitches to JP, and then unfortunately for the Mariners, Julio and Naylor both ground out on the first pitch they see. So 13 pitches in total. Bryan Woo getting set to climb the mound. Off to a fantastic start so far tonight. Scoreless going to the 4th.
I was so excited to hear Cal Raleigh.
We got the Rick Riz Dom Canzone fan club in the house tonight. It's Italian Heritage Night inside T-Mobile Park. Shonowell on the first pitch, lazy fly ball. Julio's calling for it, and they're saying, "Hey Dan, where's our guy?
Yeah.
Where's Canzone in the lineup?" He's resting that hamstring.
Come on, Dan.
1 out. Well, the Mariners recently announced the new Legacy Plaza, offering fans a chance to etch their names in Mariners history. You can purchase and customize a baseball medallion or bid on a commemorative bat to be permanently displayed at T-Mobile Park. Mariners.com/legacy to secure your spot. Soler, 1 out, nobody on. We had was it hyphen night or was it Australia hyphen night last year?
Well,
what was the actual target demo there?
well, I have a giant box of the yellow shirts behind the booth here, Aaron, if you'd like one. Collecting dust. No, it was Australian Appreciation Night, I believe.
Did they call it Kangaroo Court?
They did. That's right. That's what they. Yeah, that's it. That's the one. Kangaroo Court.
Yeah, I imagine the T-shirts probably say that. But I guess when they're in your basement in a box with all your Christmas decorations piled on top of them. 2-1. 2-2. It was a good-looking T-shirt, though.
It was. That was
very cool.
I know you got one. I know you do. It's faded because you've worn it that much. Ran it through the laundry. Where are you going with this, by the way? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Well,
I'm waiting for the punchline here.
Very close take. I only bring it up because it was Italian Heritage Night.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
Wanted to honor your homeland.
Yes.
That was a great night. That was a fun time.
It was. Different Australian cuisines around the ballpark.
Meat pies everywhere. Soler. Meat pies from heaven. Weston Wilson is there, 2 outs.
But I think you've worn me out enough when Australia was beat by USA.
They made me do it, man. I felt bad.
And
I mean, it was an embarrassing loss for an entire nation, but that doesn't mean I was proud to bring it up every half inning.
Okay, yeah, I'm just sorry. I had to hold him back, Aaron.
Yeah, thanks, Andy.
Let's be honest, okay?
Man.
Revisionist history there, Aaron.
Man, both of you just wearing me out all night long. Couldn't believe it.
Here's Wade Meckler, 2 down. Two outs, nobody on, top of the 4th. On the ground, Emerson is there on to first, and it's in time. Side retired in order. Bryan Woo, 30 consecutive scoreless innings spun inside T-Mobile Park. He has tied the all-time record with a pair of Mariner Hall of Famers, King Felix and Jamie Moyer. What a run.
I'm in a lot.
Randy leads off the home 4th. That is on the corner. Strike 1. Six strikeouts tonight already for Soriano. Nothing straight, man. Everything he's throwing is moving.
And again, really the only time you're going to see that 4-seam is if just to give a different look or if he slips behind the count. Otherwise, it's that right there, just bearing in on your hands. And really the curveball has been the difference tonight. Able to land it in the zone early and then getting some of that swing and miss. Even throwing that pitch 3-2 to JP, that was huge.
Buckler at the bottom of the zone, 3-2.
Again, 3-1, just using it. Confident with that pitch.
Very close.
The catcher is challenging to call a ball.
Let's see, did this find the corner?
Wow.
The pitch is a strike. The batter is out. Los Angeles has 2 challenges remaining.
Man. 7th strikeout by that much. Tickets are on sale now for the Mariners Legends Photo Day VIP experience presented by Daktronics. You can lock in your chance to snag photos with Mariners legends like Randy Johnson and King Felix and many more on Sunday, August 9th. Mariners.com/50. Strike 1 to count.
Quickly 0-2 again. Talked about the Mariners getting that break last night. That 2-out hit from Cal because after the error from Guzman on the flip side too. Randy Arozarena, that 3-2 pitch where you get that walk, all of a sudden you create some traffic. Soriano get that first out of the inning, able to go on the attack to Cal Raleigh.
We mentioned earlier that Soriano has walked more batters than any other pitcher this year. The Mariners have drawn just 1 single walk. That was the 3rd batter of the ballgame, Josh Naylor. 1 walk to 7 strikeouts. A mile high. This is a big league pop-up. 2 outs. A message now from Hyundai.
Tech that lets you be you, how it should be. The Hyundai Tucson.
Here's Cole Young. Quick shovel onto first. In time. All right, Hyphen, because you wanted to relive the good times. We take you back. Wow. Right across the street in Victory Hall. USA. USA.
Are you serious? I'm taking anything off. I'll see you.
Taking back to the 2-0 victory over Australia. USA Bosnia tomorrow. You can watch it at Victory Hall, 5 p.m. Hyphen, he'll be there.
Sure will. Green and gold.
If you're seeing the
Joe Adele leads things off in a scoreless 5th inning. Ryan Rowland-Smith is still here. He did not storm out. We thought we might lose him for a second.
Would never.
Too much of a pro.
I'm going for USA. When is that game against Bosnia? When is that? Tomorrow? Next day?
Is this a real question? There's a reason the Mariners aren't playing tomorrow. 5 o'clock tomorrow across the street.
Yeah, you got Belgium across the street over here. We got Australia on Friday, people.
Oh,
tune in.
People will know. Belgium, Senegal tomorrow. You still keeping up with it? You still wearing the jersey?
Of course.
Yeah.
I'll wear it Friday for you if you want the Socceroos jersey.
You look great.
You can wear your kangaroo court jersey.
Oh yeah,
T-shirt. I know you got one.
That'd be my way of representing Australia. Chopper up the middle. Emerson in front of the bag. Ooh, wide throw low, and Naylor has to hit the deck to try to corral it. Instead of 1 out, Adele is in at second.
Man, you're in a 0-0 game right here. You get Joe Adele hit this ball on the ground. I feel like he got enough time, but just not setting his feet. Trying to make that running throw and just well wide of Josh Naylor down at first base. See that weight just kind of taking him that way with that throw.
So leadoff error. And a man in scoring position right away for Josh Lowe. Low in center field. The Angels are hoping to get Mike Trout back at some point before the All-Star break. Trout is hoping to make it to the All-Star game this year. He is originally from the Philadelphia area, and of course that's where the All-Star game is being played this year, so it'll be very special for him.
That's been another issue for Brian Wu. Runners in scoring position. Opponents hitting .451 against him. Plenty of traffic on the road. And you go back to last year. We keep naturally comparing everything to that All-Star season last year. Runners in scoring position last year. Opponents hit .178. So that's something he's trying to get a grasp on right now.
Still 1-2. This was before the game today. Mike Trout doing some work out there in left field, trying to get right and get off the injured list. Trout, one of many Angels on the IL. He's dealing with a hamstring strain that he suffered in the middle of June.
Yeah, he's finding some of that youth again. He's back to having a good year. The power numbers are back.
Yeah, it's kind of a low average, high slug, and a ton of walks kind of season for Mike Trout. Now 34 years old. His 16th season in the big leagues. Two and two on loan. Now this is the third 3-ball count tonight. That's it from Wu. He walked him. First and second to the Ford Sports Desk. Angie.
Guys, normally on the day they pitch a starter is generally going to keep to themselves, but Brian Wu breaks the tradition for a good cause today. He organized a reverse signing at the ballpark with patients from Seattle Children's Hospital. In this event, the players get autographs from the kids And they sign, of course, a few of their own. This is the second year that Woo has hosted this event. Really cool.
Oh, that is awesome.
That is really cool.
What a memory for everyone there, both the players and the kids. We know Woo's special relationship with Seattle Children's as Ohapi shows bunt. 0-1.
Especially the day you're pitching, getting in there and doing that with getting all your teammates in that room. Special day for a lot of those kids.
Naylor starts to creep in at first. Ohapi squaring a bunt. Naylor can basically shake hands with him, and now he swings away. JP retreats to third, steps on the bag there, and they get the lead runner, Adele. Now, was that simply in retaliation to where Naylor was?
Yeah, that was a situation. You see where Naylor was? Look, the timing of this, he's expecting Brian Woo to throw a pitch. Brian Woo kind of let that pitch clock run down. See him taking off. Knowing he's going to bunt, so he just charges in, and he's right on top of him. Ohapi sees him. He pulls the bat back. But it worked out. Yeah, that's a play. There were certain things back in the day, especially when you used to have the pitcher who would hit, and that would crash so hard to force you to try and do that little slash bunt right there where you saw Ohapi doing, because a lot of guys just weren't comfortable doing it.
Walton fouls it back for strike one. Hey, to put a bow real quick on the Brian Woo Seattle Children's story, we saw the reverse signing. If you recall, it was just recently the Woo had 3 different pairs of cleats that were decorated by young Mariner fans at Seattle Children's, and they drew tridents and Mariner logos, and they signed their names on the bottom. There were 12 different patients at Seattle Children's who designed those cleats that Woo has been wearing. Very special stuff.
He's cool. He had that epic game. Had a chance to interview him after the game. He was emotional when I asked him about the shoes. Talked about it in that post-game interview as well, what that meant to him.
1 out, 2 on. Donovan Walton, number 9 hitter at the plate.
Now we're talking about Brian Woo, runners in scoring position, where opponents hit 450, which is, you know, through the roof again compared to 178 last year. But even just watching him pitch right now with runners on base, just the timing mechanically, something looks a little different, and you can see the pitch quality too. When you're in that stretch position as opposed to getting that typical windup, we know how fluent he is, how easy he is down the mound. He's got that good rhythm, that big leg kick. It's a little different with runners on base. That's something that's been pretty much all season long, something he's had to overcome.
2-2. Into center, Julio has it come right to him. Now Walton squared it up, but he's out number 2.
The other thing too, one pitch, the sinker for Brian Woo, inner half of the plate to lefties. Look at how far Cal Rowley's set up inside. I saw this against Wade Meckler that last inning, forcing him to get this pitch in. This has been another issue for him. You can see how that ball just kind of leaked out over the plate. Again, Julio catching that ball, but that was, he nailed that pitch to Wade Meckler in the inning prior to that. And you can see Cal just forcing that pitch in. You can see how far in he's set up. And now Cal just kind of knows that this is an opportunity for Brian Woo just to get a breather right here. It's a big spot in the game. Just slowing him down. Perfect time for that mound visit.
He was almost set up halfway behind him.
Yeah.
Well, you've got Neto coming to the plate for the 3rd time. Leadoff hitter for the Angels. Low average, lots of power, 18 home runs, a lot of swing and miss as well. He has grounded out and struck out, but the thing is, he has seen close to 20 pitches in those 2 at-bats. I mean, he has really made Brian Woo work for it here tonight. A double and a home run last night for Neto in game 1. Angels threatening, and they've got one of their best hitters at the plate right here.
Yeah, the first at bat he went sinker, sweeper, then he mixed in that changeup. You mentioned that long at bat in the 3rd inning.
First pitch, check swing, and Naylor's got it. A flip to Woo, who steps on first, and the Angels strand a pair. Woo gets out of a jam, and he sets an all-time T-Mobile Park record. 31 consecutive scoreless innings spun by Brian inside his home ballpark. No Mariner has ever done that before. Well, don't miss your chance to sit in the J-Rod squad presented by Adidas. The special section in center field is available every game at T-Mobile Park, and on Tuesdays and Fridays you can score an exclusive no-fly zone t-shirt. Tickets at mariners.com/J-Rod. Inside out, slashed into left field. Emerson aboard, 2 for 2 tonight. Leadoff traffic for the Mariners.
I love that approach from Colt Emerson. You know you're going to get at some point either the split or the breaking ball late in the count. That's when you got that first at bat, and this time just jumping all over a pitch, knowing he's going to get something straight or straight enough to try and jump ahead in the count. Lets that ball get a little deeper and then just drives that. Keeps that bat nice and flat through the strike zone and leadoff hit.
That snaps 8 in a row retired by Soriano. Robles bunts it back foul. Now Victor struck out on 3 pitches his first time up. Now Soriano has definitely been tough tonight. Three hits, all singles. One and two on Victor.
Good job laying off that split right there. 1-2 count.
Fly ball, center field. Hanging up there for Lowe. 1 out, 1 on. A message from Jack in the Box.
Get fired up with my new Hot Ones Munchie Meal with a Sriracha Curly Fry Burger or Buffalo Chicken Tater Melt.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Emerson at first base, 1 down for Weston Wilson. He tries to check but goes around. Strike 1. Wilson calls for time.
Yeah, if Weston Wilson can just lay off that breaking ball once or twice right here, get something straight.
If only it was that easy.
Yeah, man, that pitch has just been filthy. We were talking about this. We could see it developing early on in this game where he's starting to land that pitch even when he's behind in the count. Had that long at bat against J.P. Crawford. There's landing pitches to sneak back into a 3-2 count. That's really been the difference. We talked about all the command issues, but landing that breaking ball has been game changer tonight for Soriano.
When you think about the fact the Mariners are down 2 really key lefty bats in Canzone and Raley. Mariners are hoping to have both of them back for the series finale after tomorrow's off day because of the World Cup. So because of that, 2 righties are in there at the bottom of the order in Robles and Wilson. Two guys that would not normally be in there. Soriano this year has just been tough as nails on righties. They're batting basically 180 against him with 2 homers. So tough matchup for any right-hander. Emerson at first base, 2 down. This ball is foul. JP trying to battle here with 2 strikes. On the ground, foul. This is one of those games, the way that Soriano's pitching, where you need your starter, in this case Brian Wu, just to hang with them and keep it close and get into that Angels bullpen, and obviously knock Soriano out as quickly as he can. His next pitch will be number 80.
Yeah, well, that 5th inning was so huge. Mentioning Brian Wu struggling with the runs in scoring position, was able to get out of it. But you're right, just hang in, knock him out of the game.
Pulled back in with a dive. He does not go. 2-2 to JP. Crawford strikes out. Man, what a night it's been for Soriano. 9 strikeouts through only 5 innings, and he strands Emerson at first base. Brian Wu has been dealing as well. Nothing going to the 6th inning. Wu will face 2, 3, and 4 when we come back.
We got to get the X.
Now looking at him, I think the difference has been landing that breaking ball in the strike zone. I think for Brian Wu, just again taking some of that rhythm he gets at home here. We know about the numbers, how good he's been. But I think he's gotten better as this game has gotten along. He just a little bit of trouble there. There's a bit of traffic. You can see the command start to go, but press the reset button here in the 6th and go to work. Just 78 pitches.
All right, including that breaking ball that misses to Von Grissom. Think about this for a second. Wu has thrown 24 breaking pitches tonight, and the Angels have swung at 18.
Wow.
1 hit, 7 whiffs. And when they are in swing mode, is that them just not seeing it, not recognizing it?
Yeah, I just think, man, like watching their approach and, even paying attention to them in, the month of April, May, and even the last couple of years. See Kurt Suzuki right there in the middle, who, by the way, Kurt Suzuki, on a side note, came up with the Oakland Athletics when it was all about how many pitches can you see on base, how, having that really patient approach. But I think just, watching them facing George Kirby, knowing he's going to be a strike thrower, obviously Brian Wu as well. 70% plus in regards to the first pitch strikes. I think they're just coming out saying, you know what, see the ball middle of the plate and get after it. It's been that way even multiple times through the lineup.
Ground ball. Young's got it about knee high onto first. 1 away. Through 5 innings, Brian Wu tonight, his swings and misses, a dozen of them through 5 frames.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit less usage of the 4-seam and sinker. Again, just watching, getting a front row seat to George Kirby last night. We talked about the aggressiveness against the 2 breaking balls. But we're starting to see a little bit more of the sinker on the glove side, on the away from righties, these last couple of innings.
Got a new chant going on here? We got the tarps off guys with the Norway chant going on up there. Or is that a woo chant?
I'm hearing woo,
that's a
guys.
woo chant.
Yeah.
One out, nobody on for Shonowell. See, all those guys might have been too young for King's Court. They got to wait for 2 strikes.
Yeah, good point.
You're gonna be gassed before long.
That's right.
We got a roll call going on. Hit hard. Naylor's got it on one quick skip. And Wu covers the bag, 2 outs. Julio just acknowledged the tarps off guys.
Of course
they
did.
were chanting Julio's name. I mean, who's the leader out there?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who it is.
It's like trying to find the queen bee. Oh, we got a Naylor roll call. Cole Young.
Call.
There we go, Cole. Emerson. JP's up next. JP's locked in for this pitch. And now JP. What's up, guys? Victor. Now this ball finds Victor. Let's see if he waves after the catch. Tarps off guys having some fun. There we go, Victor. 32 consecutive scoreless innings. Brian Wu padding his record. All-time franchise leader. Consecutive innings spun scoreless inside T-Mobile Park. Julio leads it off and sends this into left. And is that caught? No, it's not. Julio is aboard. His second hit. Meckler could not quite reel it in.
Being aggressive too. We saw Cole Emerson do the same thing right here, just jumping on this first pitch. You do not want to get to 2 strikes away. Jose Soriano has been throwing it.
You know what this game feels like? This feels like the kind of game, it's just the race to who's going to hit one over the wall first.
Yeah.
Because both guys are just dealing tonight.
Yeah, he's going to get that pitch middle, just scorch it.
Mariners have left 4. 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. Pretty similar numbers for the Angels. They have stranded 4, 0 for 5. One ball and 1 strike. 6 runs last night for the Mariners, 3 homers. Naylor trying to reach base for the 2nd time. A win tonight for the Mariners, it would be a series win. One, 2. Lost his helmet, just got a piece.
And that's 2 splits from Soriano. Probably the nastiest he's thrown all game long. We've been talking about that curveball, but those two splits, the one that Josh Naylor swung through and was able somehow get a piece of that. 86 pitches in.
He fights this off, and it drops in for a base hit. The Mariners have 2 on. Back-to-back singles.
Oh, that is huge right there for Josh Naylor. His situation, he gets a couple splits, absolute nuts. You can see where Hoppy's shoving that glove up to try and get above the barrel of Naylor. That's that plus velocity. Not used to seeing that. You're trying to protect against, obviously, the splits and a couple of them in that at-bat. And, of course, the curveball. He's been throwing that pitch to lefties. And Abel was a little late on that pitch. They're hitting that ball in the left center field. Now, all of a sudden, Soriano, who's been cruising, is on the ropes right here with none out.
87 pitches for Soriano. Mariners threatening here with the teeth of the order coming up. Nobody out, 2 on. A scoreless tie in the bottom of the 6th inning. And the Angels bullpen starting to stir for the first time tonight. Chase Silseth is warming up. First pitch to Randy. Randy has struck out twice facing Soriano tonight.
Now, they've been pitching Randy in a lot. Randy did such a good job this year driving the ball into right field, right center field.
Best chance the Mariners have had tonight.
Yeah, this is that time. I mean, you've seen enough pitches that's middle in right now. Just get that bat head out a little bit, cheat on one of these pitches, even if it's that bigger breaking ball. Drive this ball into left field. Ooh.
I think he had the same approach.
Yeah, he did. Again, this pitch is just nasty. Even as this game's going along, and there's nothing you can do with that right there.
On the ground, and it's into left field. Julio's coming home. The throw to the plate, cut off. Mariners take the lead. Randy puts them in front of the 6th inning.
Now, what a huge swing right there from Randy. We're talking about the fact he was getting pitched in a ton. Even when he gets that breaking ball, perfect pitch, down and away for that strike. But then getting that bat head out just enough. This ball's got that good sink, trying to get underneath the hands. He cheats at his pitch a little bit, hit on the ground, yes, but able to sneak that ball through. And no chance to get Julio crossing home plate for the first run.
3 straight singles for the Mariners to open up the bottom of the 6th inning. And they had the right guy at second base. Julio scores. Mariners in front. Silseth coming in.
Introducing.
The Smile Moment is brought to you by Delta Dental of Washington, supporting healthy smiles across Washington. This was right before Randy gave the Mariners the lead. RBI base hit into left.
Now, this was before the base hit. We're talking about just staying inside that pitch, driving into left field, guessing right on that sinker that was down and in. Huge, huge, huge hit right there, scoring Julio Rodriguez. Break on through and get that first run. And, by the way, knocking out Soriano, who was so tough this entire game.
Chase Silseth, the new pitcher. His first throw is to second base. Keeping an eye on Naylor there. Naylor at second, Randy at first.
Silseth having a nice year, 2.3 ERA. That's the fastball elevated. Throws that split off of this pitch, but we pitch up in the zone a ton. See Cal just swinging right through at 96.
Oh, 1. He was on that one, but fouls it back. Back-to-back heaters to Cal. Julio scoring the game's first run. Mariners have opened up this 6th inning with 3 straight singles. Julio, Naylor, and Randy.
See where he goes here. 2 elevated hitters. Tried to get that split. It's going to be either the fastball or the split. Really nothing else to lefties. Tries to get back upstairs.
Two. Well, Silseth has walked more than he would like. In fact, that's been a major problem for the Angels bullpen. They have the 2nd highest walk rate of any pen in baseball this year. It's a full count now to Cal Raleigh.
Yeah, and that was a huge pitch to lay off right there, trying to get him to chase that split. Cal calls time. Now he can sit on that fastball. Just look for something middle up. He's going to try and attack him at the top part of the strike zone.
It is strike 3 called. Cal is challenging right away.
The batter is challenging the called strike.
Did this find the edge or not? It determines the at-bat. It's a ball.
The pitch is the ball. It's ball 4. Seattle has 1 challenge remaining.
So right on cue, a walk from Silseth. That's how his night begins. The Mariners have the bases loaded.
Yeah, what a good at-bat right there. And you can even see Cal, first of all, looking at the bat boy, then looking at Randy, trying to give him a little bit of a wink right there. And tapping the helmet over at first base. But not chasing that pitch. We're talking about looking for something middle up. And it was going to be the fastball. You knew he was going to throw that pitch. With some of that plate discipline, especially since he's been struggling. All of a sudden, bases loaded, Mariners still in business.
Oh, yeah, checking on the shoulders there. Bags packed for Cole Young, our Chevy Silverado drive of the game. What a night it was last night for Cole Young, his first career multi-home run game.
And this second one was off the first pitch. You talked about Silseth having some issues with the command. That's exactly why there's been that mound visit. If I'm Cole here, I was talking about this with Cal, that 3-2 pitch. You're going to get a fastball, 0-0. Maybe that's what that was about. Maybe, hey, listen, he ambushed last night, left on left.
Mariners a chance to open it up. Bags packed, nobody out. Infield is drawn in.
There it was, split. And why not, right? I mean, 0-0. Just trying to unleash on the pitch. If you get a split, so be it. You're down 0-1, okay. Got to look at that pitch.
Doubles up on it. Silseth in a major jam here. Runners all around, nobody out, bottom of the 6th inning. Here comes the 1-1. Good pass at a high heater. First fastball that he sees.
Healthy swing. Just getting above the barrel. To Cole Young.
On a 1-2. Into right field. Base hit. Cole Young cashes in. Naylor scores. Randy pushes into third. And the Mariners take a 2-0 lead. Cole Young, base hit.
I mean, that is tough to do. First of all, you can see he was selling out for that fastball, just going that straight A swing. Then all of a sudden he gets down 2 strikes. Gets a split. Look, it wasn't the best pitch, but this is so tough to do. The pitch is down and away as well. Just keeps that barrel on that pitch long enough. Huge base hit for Cole Young.
Bases remain loaded. Colt Emerson at the plate. Infield in. taking on the corner strike. It has been station to station for the Mariners here in the 6th inning. The first 5 have reached. Oh, this finds the backstop. Randy's coming home. He scores standing. 3-0 Mariners.
Yeah, trying to do too much with that pitch. Making sure it's outside the strike zone, overthrows it. See how Hoppy really no chance, handcuffed right there, trying to keep that ball in front of him. And you'll take it all day long, still none out.
2nd and 3rd now. Fouled it out of O'Hoppy's glove practically. Nobody out, 2nd and 3rd. That zips in low. Challenge coming,
the catcher
O'Hoppy.
is challenging the call of ball.
Very close pitch.
The pitch is a strike. It is strike 3. Los Angeles has 2 challenges remaining.
And a big out and a big challenge too, right? I mean, you still got 2 loaded bases, trying to just desperate for that first out. Even if that pitch wasn't close, you're probably still going to try and challenge us to roll the dice, but it gets overturned. That's a big out right there.
After the first 5 reach, here's Robles. Infield remains in. Oh, and 2 now. Victor batting with Cal at 3rd. Young, the runner, at 2nd. Oh, 2. High, man. O'Hoppy going up and pulling that one down. Caught that like a rebound. Next pitch to Robles. Evens the count. Number 9 man Weston Wilson standing on deck. The 2-2. Down and in. Now the Mariners trying to pile on here in the bottom of the 6th inning. They've taken the lead. They've cashed in for 3. A chance for plenty more. The 3-2. One after ball 4.
Yeah, just trying to fight off, staying in the fight right here. You see that sequence too. You got the sweeper that he swung right through that first pitch. He tried to get him to chase with that split.
Infield remains in for the Angels. A wave and a miss, chasing that breaking ball off the plate. 2 outs. This Saturday, the 4th of July, the Mariners are taking on the Blue Jays, and as part of the festivities, first 10,000 fans will score this patriotic bucket hat thanks to Coca-Cola. You can grab your tickets at mariners.com and get ready to pack the stands with red, white, and blue. Weston Wilson at the plate. Swings through a first pitch fastball. Just Wilson's 4th game as a Mariner. He's behind 1-2. He is the 8th batter to hit this inning. They have knocked Soriano out, dipped into the bullpen. Evens the count up high. Still set 25 pitches.
And it's been a long half inning. Brian Wu still sitting in that dugout.
Yeah. I mean, the one good thing about Soriano is that Wu had a tempo to him.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Not a good thing for the Mariners offense, obviously. But Wu wasn't down long. 2-2. Inside out, base hit right field. Cal is in. Cole Young races to the plate. Weston Wilson drives in 2 more. And the Mariners taking it to the Angels in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 5-0.
Well, that is huge right there for Weston Wilson. Couple tough at-bats early in this game. He's hit 9th. He's getting a chance to play right here. He's down 2 strikes. Just stays inside this pitch. This pitch was still running in a little bit in on the hands. Stays short through that ball and just drives it just enough into right field. Scoring 2 more runs. Huge at-bat right there with 2 outs.
Wilson's first RBIs as a Mariner, his 2nd hit.
Now it's got to feel good right there if you're Weston Wilson. Right, new team obviously coming over and bounced around to a couple different teams before this. You want to have a situation where you got that big at bat with runners on. You go 0 for 3. Now all of a sudden you contribute.
JP pops a bunt back. O'Hoppe chases, but it's off the screen.
Join the fun.
Wilson a big break. O'Hoppe a little bobble on the transfer. And Weston Wilson, after driving in 2, swipes a bag.
I love it. There are 2 outs in this inning. Obviously Silseth thought he was a pitch away from getting out of it. And then all of a sudden he's just kind of sleeping with Weston Wilson over there at first base.
Limbo's JP back 2-1. This next pitch will be the 40th combined between Soriano and Silseth this inning. 9th batter. Broken bat and foul. Just foul. In an inning of pure paper cuts by the Mariners to the Angels, that would have fit right in.
Broken bat just dropping into that right inside that left field line. Absolutely.
The Mariners have 5 base hits this inning, all singles. The 5 runs is the most scored in an inning this year by the Mariners without hitting a home run. Full count.
It was the 6th inning last night too, where the Mariners were able to score the 3 runs. They scored the 1 run in the 3rd, and then 2 in the 4th, but having a little bit more of that fight late in the game. Exactly what Cal Raleigh was talking about in that Sunday afternoon. We're seeing it again here in the 6th.
Here comes the 3-2. It is strike 3 called at the knees. An exhausting inning for Silseth. Mariners cash in a 5 spot. Weston Wilson, yeah, what a knock that was. Pointed over to Josh Naylor. Mariners take the lead 5-0 after 6. Our guy straight out of a Guess Who game, Wade Meckler, is leading things off for the Angels.
Hey, guess who is happening at the house right like
really?
Currently? Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I've been told that somebody did something.
Yes, I love it.
Oh, that's how good
So
I would look.
Professional. Dude, you need, come on, man.
I had no idea I was capable of that.
You need to commit to that. Just that one image.
The batter is challenging the call strike.
What do you think?
Yeah,
I mean,
look at that thing.
you think I'd look that good?
For sure. He works on that too, by the way. I mean,
there's some grooming going on there
for sure. Like,
The pitch is a strike. The count is 1-1.
does your
Los Angeles
person
has
have
one challenge
facial
remaining.
hair?
exactly.
Is your person an angel? Does your person play left field? Wade Meckler.
There it is. So we need to pin that up in the booth.
Oh my
right?
gosh.
So for inspiration, you need to grow that out. Dude, it suits you. Look at that. Nice suit, by the way.
Sometimes you need the people around you who care for you the most to tell you how high you can fly. Thank you. I don't know who
we
did
need
that.
to put it up right here.
I don't
For
know.
inspiration.
Who did do that, by the way?
It's very good.
Haifa?
And with the suit too. Now,
And I think they photoshopped the suit as well. I was just wearing a T-shirt.
Yeah. His name is Leo. Leo, well done.
good job, Leo.
My man, Leo.
I love it.
Bullpen is up.
Guess who? Who we got?
All-time game.
That is. Oh yeah, Lennox Kennedy back home. Absolutely, knocking out some guess who. Love it.
Bullpen is up. Next pitch will be number 95 from Brian Wu. And Cal going out.
Yeah, we talked about that long layoff sitting in the dugout after 40+ pitches combined between Soriano and Silseth in that last half inning. Takes you a little bit just to get that heart rate back up.
Season high for Wu is 104 pitches. That's the only time in his career he's gone over 100. Want to know the count to Adele. Rips that heater past him right over the plate. Well, a full 7 is not looking likely tonight for Wu, but can he limit the traffic he leaves behind? High lift, playable right field. Wilson is there. One down.
It just looks like he bought himself another at bat, another hitter. No Dan Wilson just yet. He's at 97 pitches. We talked about this with George Kirby last night. Going into that 8th inning, all of a sudden the bullpen started going, had a little bit of traffic, and you just know at that point your pitchers and your hitters a number that you're going to face. You want to finish on a strong note. You don't want to finish leaving traffic out there behind you.
And a chance to double plate it in the inning. That would get him out of it.
Yeah, guys, it's huge that he gets Joe Adell out, because when you look at this Angels lineup, Joe Adell is one of the few Angels that have had success against Brian Wu.
Pretty harmless fly ball as it turns out from Adell, so a big out there.
Yeah, 5 for 11 with a double and 3 home runs career against Wu, though. So 4 of the 5 hits for extra base hits.
Angie, that's one of those ones you throw the pitch, see the ball up in the air, kind of harmless. You're like, oh, thank you.
1-1. 1-2. So 100 pitches now. This will be just the second time in Woo's career to go over the 100 pitch mark. Woo on a 1-2.
Josh Lowe had a couple doubles last night off George Kirby. He was off of a breaking ball. Pitch he can go down and get.
Hit that corner, but fouls it back. Well, if you can take care of Lowe, you wonder, is that the end of the road now? 102, 104 is his career high. It's a 6-man rotation. There's more days off built in, but let's see what happens here. Oh, man, what kind of swing was that? A sweeper down and in, and Lowe somehow got a piece of that one. I mean, this is a big league hitter.
Yeah, I mean, that barely even looked like it was going to be in the strike zone at all. Going out of Brian Woo's hand. He went to get that back foot. Wow. Yeah, I mean, straight swing mode right there. This is a situation where you could go for that four-seam fastball. Brian Woo, bread and butter, elevated pitch right above the strike zone and get that swing and miss.
I'm impressed he was able to just get a piece of it.
Yeah.
1 out, 1 on. Next pitch will match a career high. Trying to finish him off here. Another 1-2. Does not go.
Yeah, you can see him starting off hard, then he goes to that slider. Talked about him getting that breaking ball against George Kirby. A couple doubles.
Into right field, it's a base hit. Runners are on the corners. Meckler into third, and you have to imagine that's it for Woo. Tough ending for Woo on what was a brilliant night. And here comes Dan Wilson to make the change. Now this crowd rising to its feet. It's another night with another tremendous performance by a Mariners starting pitcher.
Yeah. And look, Brian Woo, you can't leave this game frustrated with that base hit. You got to look back and say, you know what, another bounce back outing. I was strong here at home. That was huge. Got some run support. Huge night right there for Brian Woo.
On a night where Brian Woo makes history, the longest scoreless inning streak inside T-Mobile Park in franchise history. He exits to a standing ovation.
T-Mobile has the
Brian Woo tonight pitching into the 7th, responsible for both men on base.
Yeah, so good. Again, we talked about the bounce back outing he has been from that last start on the road, but just so good here at home. It's a nice stretch. Wow.
Good start. Bizzardo, strike one. The 106 pitches for Woo, a career high, second most thrown by any Mariner pitcher this year. Castillo 108 earlier. 1 out, runners on the corners. 0-2, our Muckleshoot Casino Resort pin report as the Mariners turn things over to Bizzardo. The Mariners bullpen has worked the fewest innings this year in all of baseball. This is hit hard into center field for a base hit. Meckler comes home and scores. The Angels are on the board, and that will end Brian Woo's scoreless streak at 32 1/3 innings, the longest in franchise history inside T-Mobile Park.
Again, that sinker trying to Calrolli trying to get that pitch down and away. This inning continues. All of a sudden, the Angels talked about the offense they had in the month of June. They're not out of this game at all, but See Brian Wood talking to Logan Gilbert, Bryce Miller.
That is a rare inherited runner to score from Bizzardo, who has been exceptional this year in these situations. Does not go. When Walton was in the minor leagues with the Mariners, he actually won a minor league Gold Glove award. Has bounced around a little bit since leaving the Mariners organization. Now up in the big leagues with the Angels.
You go back to 2018, 2019, around that time. He was one of these guys that we were talking about a lot. I remember coming up. He's going to be one of these guys in this Mariners lineup, especially around that time. They're kind of going through that little bit of that rebuild. Paying a lot of attention to guys down in AA and AAA. Zada just trying to pound him in with that sinker in his last couple of pitches.
The lineup for the Mariners the day where Donovan Walton picked up his first big league hit in September of 2019. Man, it is a wild blast from the past. Shed Long Jr. led that game off. Austin Nola, who is now the Mariners bullpen coach, was at first base. Seager at third. Omar Narvaez, short-lived Mariner, was behind the plate. Rookie of the Year Kyle Lewis. All-Star Daniel Vogelback. Gold Glove winner Dylan Moore. And go Dogs Braden Bishop. I mean, find that on Sporkle. That is a different time. 3-2. Another foul. Pitch over the plate.
Who started that game?
Justin Dunn.
There you go.
This will be the 9th pitch coming up. And Walton draws a walk. Well, the Angels aren't going away. They've got the bases loaded at the top of the order with Neto coming up.
That's where it gets a little bit dicey. That's for sure. Pete Woodworth coming out. That's just that long at bat. Rosati, you don't want to get in a situation right here where it's 0-0 against someone like Neto. We've seen how aggressive he's been. You try and slip one in the middle of the plate to get ahead in the count. Again, still just one out, top of the order. The Angels have been really good this month.
So all of a sudden the tying run comes to the plate. And the guy with 18 home runs, the most of any hitter in this lineup for the Angels. Their leadoff man, Zach Neto. He's been hitting like Joe Adell last year.
This is where that breaking ball from Bizzardo comes in huge right here. Zach Neto's he's just straight pull hitter. He's right on top of the plate. Going to get a steady dose of that pitch right there. We've seen that the last couple of nights. He's got plenty of swing and miss against that pitch.
Wu leaving in the 7th. Bizzardo taking over. Dangerous hitter at the plate. Bases loaded. 2-0. There's a strike. Takes one center cut.
Get away with one right there. You take it though. Loaded bases.
Hard hit grounder up the middle into center field. Low is in. Ohapi is rounding. No throw to the plate. And 2 more runs in for the Angels. It's suddenly a 2-run game. 5-3 Mariners.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised right there. Pizzotto was a couple back-to-back heaters, and Zach Neto kind of sniffed it out in the pitch prior, saying, all right, if you're going to attack me, I'm going to start swinging at it. Probably thinking he's going to get a couple breaking balls, but I think this comes down to Pizzotto just not able to land and execute with that breaking ball either. So Cal kind of has to get a plan B right there, trying to get that sinker away. Pitch hangs out in the middle of the plate.
First and second now, 1 out. Grissom to right field. Wilson comes in and he can't hold on. He picks it up and now there's a log jam. Tag is applied. It was dropped on the dive and Emerson's going over to put the tag just in case on Walton. So Walton is safe. Neto is out.
Now we're going to figure this out, because Weston Wilson, he trapped that ball in front of him, wasn't able to catch it.
Meanwhile, Ferrer is warming.
Well, this would have been an amazing catch. Ball just gets out of his glove. Let's have a look right here. So we know he's not unable to come up with a catch. Say tags Neto out, and all of a sudden runner at second can stay put.
You can see Neto pointing to Walton saying, get on the bag. He was off the bag for a moment. 2 outs, 2 on. Strike 1 to Shonowell. Well, that certainly was exciting. Not quite out of the woods yet. 2 outs, 2 on, no balls, 2 strikes to Shonowell. Tough guy to strike out. One of the lower strikeout rates in baseball.
We see the Mariners do this a ton. Logan Gilbert's been doing a lot. George Kirby. Zano, that little inside move to second. Make sure the runner's not getting that extra step.
Julio comes in, puts on the brakes, and makes the catch. A little bend but don't break. 3 runs come in for the Angels. They make this a ball game. Time to stretch. 5-3 Mariners in front. Mariners TV is brought to you by Washington Lottery. Here's to building a stronger Washington. Washington's Lottery helps fund the WA grant. Free money for college training or apprenticeships when you play. All of Washington wins. Mariners will try to get some of those runs back now. Mariners a 5-run 6th. And the Angels 3 in the 7th. There's Julio to lead it off. Brent Suter, the new pitcher, on the mound.
We saw Brent Suter all the way back in April when the Mariners won that first away series. Going to face some of these lefties. You're facing Julio.
He gets ahead 0-2. Into center field for a base hit. 3-hit night for Julio. And some traffic right away, just like how the 6th inning began.
Right, good piece of hitting right there from Julio. This changeup, you can see a lot of this changeup from Suter. He throws that pitch a ton. Really nothing to beat you, but Julio getting it started here after the Angels all of a sudden made this ball game here in the top of the 7th.
Naylor showing bunt, pulling back. That'll get Grissom on his toes over there at third base. Julio's safe. Josh was squaring again. Second move. All right, well, does this change anything for Julio? He's made 2 moves now. If he throws over again, he's got to get him.
It's a sneaky good move right there from Suter. Holding runners on really well. You can see Julio jumping around. Nope, stand put.
If you throw over a third time and do not get the runner out, it is considered a balk, and the runner automatically gets second base. Very rarely do we ever see a pitcher throw over 3 times. In fact, when we do see it, it's typically because they've lost track as to how many times they've already thrown over. Flicks that slider foul. 1-2 still on Naylor. Randy due up next. Into the crowd, still 1-2. You think you would have liked the pitch timer?
Man, I think about this all the time. Like, I like the rhythm of it for sure, but there would be times when it's counting that 5, 4, 3. It would get in my head for sure. You feel like you're rushed. You feel like you have to hurry up and throw the pitch. You know, trying to take some time to process what you're doing. Prior to that, sucks up some of that time, and it gets down there to that 3, 2, 1. That was one of the biggest adjustments too. I think guys have talked about when they first had to deal with the pitch timer. But they're so used to trying to, you know, process that pitch a little bit, take some time, and then they look up like, oh, hang on, I got seconds to throw it.
Waving after that breaking ball in the other batter's box. The pitcher must release, or go, I should say, go into his motion before the timer expires. Here is Randy. So you don't have to let go of the ball when it hits 0, but you have to be going into your motion at that point. Ball 1-2 Randy. That is called a strike. That looked a touch high. Let's find out. EQC tracer. Nope, it's on the line. Good call. Mr. Seha, our home plate umpire. Line left field. This is off the glove. It's clanked out in left field by Meckler. Now the Mariners have runners at second and third.
I'll tell you what, Randy Arozarena can hit that pitch down, especially a changeup. And for Suter against righties, that's a pitch he's always going to go to. I think Randy knows that. Man, Meckler just unable to glove that ball. Maybe a little bit of side spin to it. Bounce around that glove. Mariners need to cash in here. Another up by a couple runs, but how big were those extra runs in that 6th? The Angels are still in business.
Randy's team leading 20th double. All right, here is Cal. Infield is in. He goes 0-1.
Cal had that really good at bat last time. I was able to draw that walk after challenging, overturning that pitch.
Swinging at a fastball way up and in. It's 0-2. Very good speed on the bases. Right over the heart of the plate. Cal maybe looking for something else there. That's the only thing you can figure.
Yeah, I think he's sitting changeup, especially watching that at bat to Randy. Not to mention even Julio Rodriguez, a couple of at bats prior to that too. Knowing that he's going to try and finish these hitters off with that changeup. Righty's here hitting under 200 against that pitch. Just kind of froze him with a hitter middle of the plate.
Down and away, ball 1 to Cole Young. Young, an RBI base hit his last time up. That made it 2-0 at the time. What's happened since the start of the 6th inning?
Both teams able to knock those starters out. I mean, Soriano was so good. All of a sudden they got a break against him. Finally figured him out. That breaking ball was nasty. And Brian Wu on the other side, able to get low for that final out.
Both runners dancing around. That's on the edge, very close. EQC Tracer has it missing. So 2-1 instead of 3-0. When this game went to the bottom of the 6th inning, so not long ago, it was 0-0.
Yeah.
Seen 8 combined runs scored since then.
Right. Both guys were just. Both starters actually were just looking like they're going to be unhittable for a long time, and then able to knock them out.
This gets into the crowd. Cole Young now leading the Mariners. Most RBIs on the club. Chance to add to that here. Hoppy trying to hold that off the plate, and a good no call. 3-2. Both sides with 1 challenge left as this game starts to get late. On to 3-2.
In the 8th inning, Soler's up for the Angels, and you got Wade Meckler, Joe Adell, Jose Ferrer's warming up in the Mariners bullpen. Some tough outs right there, some power he's going to have to deal with.
Okay, it's 90 miles an hour. Why is Cole Young late?
I think because, just like, again, we always going off the other at-bats, right? So Naylor, he got that fair share of that slider. That's a pitch he goes to a ton. By the way, too, Cole Young handled Suter 2 back-to-back nights. By the way, back in, I know it was back in April. But they're the pitches that he got. It was just breaking balls after breaking balls last time he faced him. Now he's trying to speed him up. So it's a situation where he's sitting something soft. Now it was a changeup, obviously, that missed. But I think for Cole, we saw this with Cal. He kind of sped Cal up with that hitter, and that was middle of the plate. So I think Cole's looking for something soft, something breaking away from him.
This will be pitch number 10. Off the plate, a 10-pitch walk. Left on left for Cole Young. Nobody warming inside that bullpen.
Yeah, you get Mike Maddox coming out.
You got a veteran. There's no way it's 2 shoulders for a vet. There's no way. Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go one. You go 1 catcher, 1 vet. I think if you're
you need the hand to cover them out.
The more service time you have, the less shoulder action you're gonna get.
Well, hang on a sec. What you're saying he goes 2 hands on the shoulders for
2 hands last night. No.
For the young players.
Yeah. I think the higher the concern meter, coupled with the lower the service time, that is why Mike Maddox shoulder touch algorithm.
Have you ever seen all the days with Texas, especially no shoulder touch?
No, I've never seen no shoulder touch. I don't think he's capable of it.
Man, that's just the straight how you're dealing. I'm just.
I don't think he's ever made a visit without a shoulder touch.
I wonder if Kurt Suzuki knows about the shoulder meter.
Colts, a parachute down the line. Fair ball! Julio and Randy score. And Colt Emerson gets 2 runs back for the Mariners. That looked like hot dogs from heaven dropping down in left field. 7-3.
Colt Emerson with a couple of hits here to finish off the month of June. Look, it's been a tough month of June in regards to some of the swing and miss, but look at this. We talked about Cole Young, the at-bat before that, where he was getting those fastballs. He was just fouling those pitches off, fighting off, because he's looking for that pitch right there, that little breaking ball. Cole Emerson stays on it, does enough, hit that ball into left field.
Second career 3-hit game for Colts. His other was actually a 4-hit game.
Really, guys, a couple of impressive at-bats by Colt back-to-back. Lefty versus lefty. You're talking about being late. You have to allow yourself to be late against a lefty. You can't open up and try to pull early.
Line left field, base hit. The hits keep on coming. Young racing to the plate. He's safe. 8-3 Mariners. Victor Robles drives in the latest.
Again, another guy, Victor Robles, is still waiting for him. He's coming off the aisle to find that rhythm with his swing. Again, had a tough month, but this is huge right here. Just keep adding on. You see Cole Young, nice little sneaky slide around Hoppy right here. Again, another big inning here for the Seattle Mariners. A 3 spot here in the 7th.
Weston Wilson. 2-run knock his last time up. So the Mariners sent 9 to the plate in the 6th and scored 5 runs. Wilson is now the 8th batter here in the 7th, and they've pushed 3 across. They've gotten all 3 back that the Angels scored in the top half of the inning. This is the least Mariner kind of game ever.
Right, and look, I know this Angels bullpen isn't the most elite, backhand where high leverage, power arms coming out by any means. But again, just going back to, we talked about it a lot yesterday, some of the comments from Cal Raleigh on that Sunday afternoon after the game about staying in this game, in this fight for 9 straight innings, not just the first couple. And this is huge right here for this team in the 6th and 7th.
2-2.
Not only that, too, Michael Rucker's warming up in that bullpen where you can sit down Jose Ferrer, who was getting loose. You got a little bit of wiggle room right here. Chance for him to bounce back from that tough Sunday appearance.
Fouls that away. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Mariners have 12 hits, 11 of them singles. It's the most runs they've scored this year without hitting a home run. Might be the most home runs they've ever scored without hitting a home run. That is low. Good take. I'm being facetious, of course, but it kind of feels that way.
What was that? It was 26 and something with 2 home runs. That graphic you pulled up? I wasn't paying attention. I'm just kidding.
3-2. A strikeout of the top rail. An 8 batter. 3-run 7th. Cole Young driving in a couple.
Ready telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners.
On Italian Heritage Night inside the ballpark, great to have the one and only Rick Riz with our copyright. Michael Rucker takes over in the 8th, This game has had two different chapters.
Yeah.
The scoreless one, and then everybody scores. 8-3 Mariners now. Mariners have scored their 8 runs in the last 2 innings. The Angels scoring their 3 in the 7th. Swing and a miss facing Soler, 2-1.
Yeah, still got to be careful right here with this offense. So the Angels bounce back, put up that 3 spot at the top of the 7th.
Going right after him.
And Michael Rucker talked about trying to bounce back. That last day in Cleveland, just through the 3rd of the inning, that inning imploded in the 8th, giving up the 4 runs, a couple walks.
Does not go. Full count. The last time the Mariners scored 8 runs without a home run, you have to go back to September of 2022. Oh, it's Julio's rookie year. Leadoff walk to Soler. That's not what Rucker wanted. Here's Meckler. What do you think Meckler's actual hair looks like? we got a buzz cut, curly redhead.
Yeah.
Think about the Guess Who card.
And the glasses too, right?
To first base, it's in time. Guess Who bounced to a double play.
Oh, good one.
Yes, and the glasses.
Well, this is huge. Look, we talked about Michael Rucker trying to bounce back from that tough way to finish up that road trip. You walk the leadoff hitter, you start second guessing what you're doing out there in the moment. And when you do get that nice big ground ball, get you 2 outs quickly, just 9 pitches in this inning.
That's perfect. Wipes away that leadoff walk. Now facing Adele with the bases clean. A lot of movement to that 2-seamer running in. On the ground. Emerson's got it to first base. And Rucker faces the minimum in a scoreless 8th inning. Mariners lead it 8-3 on a pleasant night here in Seattle.
Change. I say keep the change.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Mariners TV is brought to you by UW Medicine, where research gives hope to those in need and creates healthier futures for all. UW Medicine, a higher degree of health care. And by Steel Battery, quiet, powerful, and ready for your yard. Italian Heritage Night inside the ballpark. Ryan Zefferjohn is up on the mound. His first pitch facing the top of the order. J.P. Crawford misses.
Yeah, look at the walks. 30 walks in 38 innings. See the command's the issue.
Into center field, and Lowe is there. 1 away. All right, Hyphen. Sell us.
We've got the don't miss an all-new event during 50th season celebration weekend. Alumni Home Run Derby Night presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort on August 7th. Watch Ryan Roland Smith, Mike Cameron, Ichiro, and more compete in an epic post-game competition. Get your tickets at mariners.com/derby.
You started to ad-lib it, and then you thought, you know what, let's just.
Yeah,
there's a
I was
script
like,
right
nah,
there.
let's be a pro, and of course I'm the headline.
I was going to say, I thought I didn't hear you insert your name is the only problem. With Ryan Rowland-Smith, Ichiro, and Mike Cameron.
Well, that's what I did. I said
Is
Ryan
that-
Rowland-Smith. I went Ichiro, and then Mike Cameron. Yeah.
So you got and that was only after like 4 rehearsal takes earlier today.
Hey, by the way, the pressure's mounting. I'm not going
Yes,
to lie.
it
And
should
people
be.
keep bringing this up, and you know, around here, and I'm like, you know, at first I was like, oh, it'd be fun, take a couple swings. But Goldie, the pressure's on, man. It's a big stage.
So you thought it would be all kind of ha 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 fun and games, and now the reality is setting in.
Yeah, it's man.
Yeah. Do you think you should bow out?
No. Come up with
just some
lame
kind of
hamstring. Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah.
On second thought.
I did take batting practice last week at Cheney Stadium.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fill us in.
Got there early. I had my baseball camps happening last week at Cheney, and got a chance to get on the field. Had some of my coaches do some front toss first, and then I had them actually pitch. And it was one of those ones where whack, it sounds good off the bat. The ball, you're watching that ball flight, and then it just dies. Dies. And I'm
Even
looking
for
up.
you.
Yeah, but I'm close though. I'm close.
Okay.
Just a couple sessions. I'll be all right. I'll figure it out.
What kind of bat we swinging?
Well, that's just it. I've been told by the pros I need a bigger bat. I was swinging a 34. They're like, you need a bigger bat, dude.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's the bat's fault.
I mean, all right. So 34. What would be next? What would be an appropriate increase for Hypham?
Well, I guess a 35.
Is that going to be enough? I mean, based on the photos we've seen of you with next to Mike Cameron, yeah, I think a 37 could be in your future. Oh, family show, Julio. 2 down. Two outs, nobody on. Well, you don't like the fact that Julio knows where the crowd mics are, and yet you do like the fact that in an 8-3 game, right? There's some fire there, even when you're up by 5 late in this one.
Yeah, just trying to again get that rhythm. Look, we've dealt with these injuries, especially the month of May, and leaving May and then into early June, and you're trying to get Cal Raleigh back, hurry him back. You're excited to see him come back. And obviously, Randy, the guy who's hitting right now, Randy Rosarena, just some minor things. Brendan Donovan, you lost your leadoff hitter early, trying to get him right. And so you want to find some sort of rhythm for this team. And again, you're up by a ton, but Julio showing that emotion.
Cracked that to the gap, left center field. Lowe can't get there. Able to cut it off before the warning track. Naylor, close play at second. Oh man, gymnastics. He's out. Trying to stretch it to 2. That's what's left. Oh. Walton with the tag as Naylor is out with a new maneuver. Our Overlake Medical Center scoreboard, Mariners have the lead. And Andres Munoz coming in, not his typical scoreboard entrance, a 5-run lead. But when you think about there's a day off tomorrow, Munoz hasn't pitched in 3 days. I think the Mariners are very conscious this year in particular of making sure that Munoz pitches more regularly.
Yeah, for sure.
And doesn't go 5 days without throwing, which is what would happen if he did not throw today because of the off day tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, he's even expressed that himself. He's admitted the fact that when he gets that regular turn on the mound, that he's been much better. But man, he was electric on the road. That fastball all of a sudden coming into play. Punched out 5 of the last 6 outs he got. Most of them on that heater. I just think he's at his best when he's 50-50. You know what I mean? Like you cannot sit on a pitch. You have to second guess, even with 2 strikes. It becomes unhittable.
Wow, he goes right after him with the gas. 101, blowing the doors off of Josh Lowe.
And this is what I'm talking about, second guessing. Look at this swing right here. This is a straight late emergency hack, trying to stay in the at-bat. No chance, man. When you're facing 101 and you're thinking in the back of your mind, it's a 50-50 chance of getting that slider. You're not going to catch 101.
Every 3 days, every 4 days, maybe. What do you think? Is that kind of the sweet spot?
Yeah, I think so. And you don't, obviously, you don't want to overdo it. You know, Dan Wilson's been very conscious, even going back to last year, of wearing him out first half of the season. I know we're getting into those middle months. But yeah, I think, you know, pitch, get that good command in the strike zone, land a few sliders. In a couple days, any save opportunity. Yeah, but when he goes too long, I mean, we've seen it.
The 0-2. Young underneath it. It's been nothing but gas. All fastballs from Munoz. So by 50-50, did you mean 100% fastballs?
Yeah, there you go. The other thing is too, look, when you start getting that reaction from your fastball, you know, you're 98. I know he's been 100 the last couple times out, but you just start feeling really good about it. When you start feeling good about it, you move full speed down the mound, and that's where you see, you know, that hitting that ceiling of 101.
Fastball that misses. First pitch that's not been a strike for Munoz. Donovan Walton, last hope tonight for the Angels. All the action in this game coming late on both sides. Ground ball. Emerson's got it. Ball game. Mariners win it 8-3, and they take the series, winning the first 2 against the Angels.
Yeah, and a huge series win, and getting that second win here at home for the Mariners against the Angels. Look, first of all, Brian Wu, 6 1/3. Nice little bounce back. He has been unreal at home. He's been so good pitching into the 7th. And then plenty of offense. Get Jose Soriano, Goldie, we will watch him, man. He was a tough customer as soon as he started landing that breaking ball. And all of a sudden they figured him out, knocked him out of the game, got to this Angels bullpen. Plenty of runs. Had that late fight in him, that 6th and 7th. Huge, huge win for the Seattle Mariners.
When you think about the Mariners offense, it was lifeless for over 2 weeks. And now the Mariners have come home. 6 runs last night. 8 runs tonight on 13 hits. It's not the normal way of getting things done for the Mariners, but it worked tonight.
Right.
And they sprayed the ball all around the yard. And it's been really nice to see this offense 1 through 9 contribute.
Yeah, and I think too, some of the late fight we talk about, even with 2 outs, right? Even Weston Wilson, the guy who punched out the first 2 times, with 2 strikes, able to drive that ball into right field. Some of the little things they're doing to stay in the at bat. So, like I said, a team against the Angels, who were, by the way, pretty good in the month of June offensively, shutting them down and getting these first 2 victories.
Well, not to bury the lead, Brian Wu was electric once again tonight. He set a T-Mobile Park record 32 1/3 consecutive scoreless innings in his home ballpark. No Mariner pitcher's ever done that in the T-Mobile Park era, dating back to the summer of '99. First Mariner starter with 2 earned runs or fewer in a 5-game stretch of home starts since Moyer in '02. We take you down to the field. Our Fire TV winning moment. Ange?
Aaron, thanks so much. Julio, you guys couldn't get a whole lot going against Soriano early, but what did you learn in your first 2 at-bats that helped you in your 3rd to knock him out of the game there in the 6th?
I mean, I feel like the whole game we stayed resilient against him. You know, we were putting good at-bats, hitting the ball, all that, but I feel like later on, that's when we were able to crack the code on him and score some runs.
The guys upstairs were talking about how you guys have not scored 8 runs without a home run since your rookie year. Did it feel like one of those nights where you guys were going to have to put some hits together, nobody was going to leave the yard?
I mean, we're trying to put a lot of good at-bats. You know, homers are fun, but we're talking in the dugout. You know, the way that we continue to keep pressure on them and everybody that came on the field, I feel like that was awesome to watch. I did not know it's been a long time, but that was definitely really cool.
That surprised you, huh?
Yeah, definitely. But I hope everybody enjoyed it, though.
All right, yes, I think they did. Hey, Brian Wu was amazing tonight. He ends up setting a new record here at T-Mobile Park, passing Felix Hernandez and also Jamie Moyer for most consecutive scoreless innings at T-Mobile Park. Besides being happy you don't have to face him, what did you think about his night tonight?
I mean, I love every time he's on the mound. You know, he brings so much intensity, and I feel like the opponent team definitely feel that, and I feel like all of us feed off of it. And you know, he's definitely a great teammate. And I'm glad I don't have to face him, but definitely happy for him and wishing that he continue to do that.
All right, last question for you. You guys have the day off tomorrow. You guys win the series tonight, though. You don't have that hanging over you into the finale. This is just the second time you guys have won a series in the last 8 tries, but this is important. This is what you want to do. This is what this team needs to do, win series.
I mean, definitely. That's what you want. You want to stack as many series as you can, and you know, at the end of the day, you're going to be in a good spot.
All right, Julio, enjoy the day off.
Thank you, thank you. Have fun, everybody, and good night.
He's the only one that I ever let grab the microphone because I know he's going to give it back. Right now, he's grabbing the trident. All right, we're back. We've got lots to get to and unpack in this one. Julio Rodriguez, here he is, scoring the run. The Mariners take the game and the series against the Angels, 8-3 the final.